Hi and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make these 4 different squares for our Whimsical sweater vest series, or as part of our Whimsical sweater vest series. Or you can also just make these squares for whatever you want to make, but that is why I'm making them. So for today's video, you're going to need, for the background colors, if you're wanting to make them exactly like I am, again, you can do whatever color you want. But for the ones I'm using, I'm going to be using a lime green, a purple, a sage green, and a aqua or light blue for the background. And then for the sew on portions, you will need a red, a darker green, a cream white color, a yellow, and a pink. And without further ado, let's get into it. Right, and this is what they look like blocked. I've already blocked them, and I've already went ahead and made the backgrounds, but they are not blocked yet, so there is a size difference, as you can see. And to make these, it'll just be like in the other videos when we did the 16 double crochet across and 8 rows up, and then just going around the edge with a single crochet, making sure there are 16 single crochets on each side. And I did 2 of the sage greens, a lime green, a aqua or light blue, and a purple. I'm going to start off with the cherry. So I'm going to grab these 2 and set them to the side. All right, and for all these, I'm still using a 5mm hook. I'm going to take the red and I'm going to do a magic circle. I'm going to do a slip stitch, and then I'm just going to do 10 single crochets in the round. And then we'll just pull that nice and tight and then slip stitch into that first single crochet. And then chain 2 and pull out enough of a tail to sew with later. Alright, and then if you're doing just one square, you only need to do this one more time. If you're doing both of the squares because you're making the sweater vest with me, then you will need to make 3 more of these for a total of 4. And I'll be right back when I have that done. Okay, so I went ahead and made 4 of these total, and now we're going to make this part of the cherry. So you can chain as many as you want for the length of the cherry stem and leaf. I'm going to chain 13. I usually do 13 or 15. I'm going to chain 13. Right, so I have chained 13. I'm going to go into this second stitch, and I'm going to slip stitch. I'm going to go into the next one. I'm going to single crochet. I'm going to go into the next one, and I'm going to do a half double crochet. And then in that same spot, I'm going to do a single crochet, and then I'm going to rotate my work, and in what would be the 3rd spot down, so we're right across from where I am at, I'm going to go in and I'm going to do another single crochet and then a half double crochet, and then in the next spot I'm going to do a single crochet, and then in the very top spot I'm going to do another slip stitch, and then I'm going to chain 2, and then the tail is what you're going to use to sew everything down. So I'm going to make sure I have a long enough tail, cut it, and pull that nice and tight. And then I have the leaf portion and the stem portion, and again you can chain as many as you want for the length. here is one that is 13 chains. And then here is one that is 15 chains. So a slightly longer one and a slightly shorter one. But I did the leaf part the same on both of them. And so you'll need 2 of these and 2 of the cherries for 1 square. So you'll need to make 4 of each if you plan on making the 2 squares. So I'm going to go ahead and take this square. It's a little easier to see. And then the back part here, I'm just going to take it after I decide where I want the cherries, which I think I'm going to do here and here. And I'm going to just kind of poke that through somewhere to use later. And I'm going to take something to hold it down. You don't have to always use these if you have some kind of like a hair clip of some sort. Sometimes I'll even use those to kind of just hold it. Sorry, I had an alarm on my phone go off, so I don't know if you missed anything, but like I was saying, sometimes I'll use a hair clip to also just hold things down for me. And then from here, I'm just going to go in, pull that through, and I'm just going to keep going back and forth like this to sew it down. Right, and now that I have that fully down, I'm going to take the red that I poked through earlier, do that lightly, and then pull it tight, and then I will just take both of them, just like on all the other squares. And I will just kind of go under and between the square fabric and this fabric and just put that through there. And cut. Right, so now I'm going to do the other cherry. I'm going to get this attached and then I will be right back to show you how we're going to do the stems. Okay, so I have sewn both the cherries on and I've kind of got an idea of where I want to put the stems. I'm going to show you how I get them to look like that. So let me grab this one. So since this one's a little lower, I'm going to go with the slightly longer one. And then a slightly shorter one on this side. And I'm just going to cross them over. And ignore this, I have really sensitive skin and something like brushed against my hand a moment ago. And now it's really agitated. Anyway, I just cross these over. And then I just kind of took one of these and just pinned it in place for now while I decide where I wanted these to go. And I just kind of move it around until I get like a nice movement. I'm like, you can decide if you want to both bow out, one to bow in a little. Yeah, I might do something like that because I have the other one, they're both going like this. So this one I might do like that. But you just gotta figure out how you want them to set. But yeah, you just cross these over and now I'm gonna pin it down and start sewing it down to show you how that looks. So I'm gonna take this part want that to go in right here. That way that looks like part of the cherry. And I'm going to take this longer one. Go in here. And just like with the circular bit, I just go in and out on the leaf portion. Because this is going to get in the way slightly, I'm going to move that over here. So now that this is in the back, I'm going to bring it down here, right up to there. And then I'm just going to, kind of like before, using these V's as where I go in and out, I'm just going to go in there. And back out there. I also realized I didn't put this one down. I put this one down and needed to be this one. My bad. Wait, I had that going right there. Perfect. Alright, now that I'm over here, I'm going to take these two, just like before. First one loose, second one loose, third one nice and tight. Then I'm going to do the same as I did before, just go between the two layers. And cut. And now one of them is pinned down. I'm going to go ahead and do the other one and show you what this looks like when I'm done. Alright, so I have this one completely pinned down and attached. Here's what the back looks like, and the same with this one. So this one is with a longer and a shorter one, so a 15 and a 13. Same with this one. And then this one is with two longer ones, so two 15s, and this one is with two 13s. Let me know which one is your favorite. Personally, I think my favorite, at first I thought it was this one, but I also really like this one. So I guess I'm going to say a long and a short and then two long, but that's just my personal opinion. Okay, so next we are going to be doing the mushroom square. So for that, I'm going to need a solid background of whatever color you're doing. I'm doing this sage green, again 16 double crochets by 8 rows with 16 single crochets all the way around the edge. So for this, you're going to need a white or cream or whatever color you want, and whatever color you want for the top. I'm going to be using red. So let me grab those colors and I'll be right back. Okay, and again, I'm going to be using the 5mm hook. I'm going to take the red and I'm going to be doing a magic circle. And then I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to do 5 single crochets. once you have your 5 single crochets done, you can pull that tight. And I didn't want to pull it too tight because I still want it to be a half circle. And then I'm going to chain 2. And then I'm going to do 2, well, maybe, double crochets into that first stitch. There we go. So 2 double crochets into that first stitch. Into the second stitch, I'm going to do 1 half double crochet. In the third one, I'm going to do 2 half double crochets. And then in the next one, another half double crochet. And then in the last one, 2 double crochets. And then I'm going to chain 2 and then pull out enough tail to stitch this down with. And then pull the tail a little tighter. Right, and here is the top half of the mushroom. I'm then going to take this. I'm going to go right into here. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to pull that through. Pull that over to crochet over it. I'm going to chain 2. Actually, I'm going to chain 3. I'm going to count that as one of the double crochets. And then I'm going to, without going over, I'm going to go back into that same spot. I'm going to pull up 1. I'm going to go into the next spot, skipping this little middle circle here. Pull up 1. Go through 2. Go through 2. So it's kind of a double crochet. And then in that same spot, I'm going to do a double crochet. That way you have the 2 double crochet and that 3 chain to count as a double crochet. And I meant to go over this, so I'm just gonna pull that through here since it is now in the way. There we go, that's fine. And then I'm gonna chain 2, do a double crochet in each spot, so that's gonna be 3 double crochets. And then in the top loop of that chain 3. Okay, and then I'm going to chain 2 again. And then I'm going to do 2 double crochets in the first one. 1 double crochet in the second one. And then 2 double crochets in the next one. And then chain 2. And then you can kind of stretch everything out a little bit if need be. But I'm going to pull out enough of a tail to stitch this down and then do the white dots. So this one should be a little bit easier. Just a nice, simple little mushroom. I'm going to see how many rows this takes up. So I'm going to put it down probably right about there. That's pretty centered. And then I like to take these again and put them through for security purposes to tie everything down. going to start with the red. And this is going to be the same as the others, just back and forth like this. Alright, and I'm just going to leave that out for now. I'm going to pin it off to the side to get it out of the way. And now with the white. And same again, just back and forth. Now, while I'm on this side, I'm going to go ahead and do a few dots. I'm just going to kind of randomly go in and out in a few spots where I think a dot would be really cute. There, yeah, I think that looks cute. Now I'm just going to sew down this side. Now I'm just going to secure the ends. And now since these two are the closest, I'm going to attach these two. And same with these two. And the whole point of this one being incredibly simple is I wanted to have a different variety of stitches and levels of difficulty so that people that were newer could pick the squares they can do and make whatever they want, a bag, a sweater vest, as well as the more advanced crocheters. And then also the more advanced crocheters could see kind of what I'm getting at with some of these stitches and why I'm putting them where I'm putting them for the shaping, and maybe make their own more structured, can't think of the word I'm trying to say here, but something more difficult, I guess. This one was a project that from start to finish had varying levels of difficulty. So various different levels of crocheters could try it out. Alright, there we go. And remember, this isn't blocked yet. Once this and the other ones get blocked, they'll look a little bit different, but for now this is what we have. Very cute, very simple. Next, we're going to be doing the clouds. So we're going to need a light blue. I'm using aqua because I don't have the light blue I was wanting. And then your off-white or cream. And your 5mm hook or whatever size hook you're using. Alright, so for this we're going to do another magic circle. And I'm going to chain 1. And I'm going to do 8 single crochets all the way around. And then once you have your 8, go ahead and pull that nice and tight. Go into the first loop, slip stitch. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out a little bit. And these are going to be the bigger poofs because there are 5 bigger poofs and then 3 smaller ones along the bottom. So I'm going to start off with the bigger poofs. I'm going to go into that same spot. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I'm going to chain 3. And then I'm going to go down in here. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 5. I may have accidentally skipped 4 when I was initially pulling it up. And chain 1, 2, 3. Go in. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And chain 3. And right now we have 3 of the big poofs. We need 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pull that through. Chain 3. And then these ones we've been pulling out further as well to make them bigger. On the next ones, I'm going to be doing 1, 2, 3, and then pull that through. Chain 2. And remember, we're not pulling out as far, so 1, 2, 3, pull through, chain 2. 1, 2, 3, pull through, chain 3, and then going into that top stitch right there. We slip stitch and then chain 2 and make sure to pull out enough tail to sew it all in. pull this a little bit tighter. Okay, so the 3 bottom ones are here. And you just find where you want to place them. On this one, I did one a little lower, one a little higher. You can place them however you want. But these 3 are initially going to be kind of straight across from each other. So you're going to kind of want to shape it a little bit. I'm going to have one here. So that these are flat. And then you just want to make sure this is kind of more bowed up. And then when you're stitching it down, you can kind of just manipulate it that way. So first, I want to get rid of this little tail. So I'm going to just pop that through the back. And it is same as all the others, just back and forth. But with this one, there's a little bit more shaping. So on the sides, I'm not really making sure there's too much tension. And right here, I do want to pull it up a little bit to start getting that roundness. By pull it up, I just mean like instead of going straight in, you want to direct it a little bit. And then once we get to the bottom bit, kind of want to try to make it as flat as you can get it. That's why I kind of lined it up here, is to make sure I don't have any of my needle insertion drop below that, because then if I did, it would not be flat. And when I get to the back, so that this isn't too far from each other, I'm going to bring us a little bit closer. And then, same as everything else, tie it up. And then, I don't know if you can hear that in the background, if you hear music or something. Like 99% sure my boyfriend is watching Indiana Jones right now. Go ahead and pull this through. And I cut off the tail. Right, and then once again, once this is blocked, this will kind of soften up and help the shape a lot, because these did look pretty rough when I initially did them, but now they have that kind of more domed shape I was looking for with the kind of flatter bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other one and I'll be right back. Okay, and I have finished the second one and attached it, and like I said, they do look a little rough, but as you can tell, once I block the square, it all smooths out significantly. So even if it looks a little rough like this, it will look much better, and they do look close together, but again, this is going to stretch. Like, look at the size difference between the two. So here they are, and just to show you the softness change in blocking, here I'm just picking this one up like this. It's pretty stiff. So now that I have finished this one, we're going to do the last one, which is the flowers. So again, you'll need another background of whatever color you want. I'm doing the sage green again. You're gonna need red, pink, and white, cream, whatever color you're using, and yellow. And again, whatever colors you're using, it does not matter. Right, so we're going to take the yellow, or whatever color you're doing in the middle. You could even do like an orange or something. That could be really cute. And we are going to do a magic circle. I'm gonna chain one, and then however many petals you want, you're going to do that many single crochets minus one. So I have 6 on here, 6 petals, so I'm gonna do 5 single crochets. And you may be thinking that's weird, that makes no sense. The reason for that is, and I'll show you, you're going to be making a petal in each spot, and then in right here where when we go over to bring it in here, this bit right here that we're making, you're going to put one of them in that as well. Chain 2 and cut. I don't know why I made the tail that big. You don't need the tail to be that big. And again, pulling the middle nice and tight. And I'm going to use the pink to show you. I'm going to start off in one of the loops. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to grab a pink. And I like to always bring these over to make sure that I'm going over the tail. Later, you're going to do 2 single crochets. You're going to go over your hook once, like you're doing a double crochet. You're going to pull up 1 time. And then you're going to pull through both of them. And then you're going to do 2 2 chains. And you're going to go into that same spot that you're just working in, slip stitch, and there's one of your petals, and then you're going to move over to the next empty chain space, which I shouldn't have done the single crochets so tight, because now that is a little difficult. There we go, pull that through. Chain 2, go in, go through once, go through twice, chain 2, and then go into that same spot. And there's 2 petals. Then go into the next single crochet, or the next available stitch, slip stitch, and then chain 2, then double crochet, and then chain 2. Go in that same spot and slip stitch, and then I'm going to go ahead and drop these out of the way so you can see what I'm doing a little better. And then I'm going to go into the next spot and slip stitch again, chain 2, double crochet into that same spot, chain 2, slip stitch into that same spot. And here are the petals so far. And if you want them to be a little bit bigger, I can show you how to do that as well. So again, slip stitch into the next spot, chain 2, do a double crochet into the spot like before, but instead of going back through here, you're going to go back over, go back in, pull through, so then you have 2 of these instead of just 1, pull through, chain 2, and go into that same spot. And that is what you'll do for a bigger petal. So here's the bigger petal, here's the smaller petal. It's really whatever you want to do. I'm making these ones a little smaller, so I'm just going to do the 1, because on this one I did the extra one to make the petals bigger, so I'm going to do the smaller one to show you the difference in the 2 sizes and how they look there at the end. So I'm going to finish up the last bit on this one. So now I have 5 petals, so now I'm going into the last spot, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, slip stitch into that same spot, and then to finish it off, slip stitch into the next spot, and then chain 2, and then pull out enough of a tail to stitch everything down. And here is what the flower looks like. See, we did 5 chains or 5 single crochets in the middle, but since we did that one of the flowers in the stitch we used to attach them, you end up with a spot for a 6th petal. And this is a more defined leaf pattern, and these ones are a bit poofier, so I wanted to give you options so you knew how to do both. And again, you can also make them poofier where instead of doing 1 double crochet in the middle or 2, you could do 3 and make it even poofier. But this one's going to be more defined, it's going to be more poofy. I'm going to continue like this so that you have 2 to compare to. So I'm going to do the same thing in red and white, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I have them all done. I think I'm going to arrange them about the same way I have the other ones, with the pink here, the white here, and the red here. That way when I have them sewn down, you can compare and decide if you want the more defined petals or the puffier petals. So just like with the other one, or the other ones that I've made, I'm gonna take these clips and just clip them down. Bottom. And just like with everything else, I'm going to go around all of the petals, just in and out like so. Alright, so I have this one sewn down, and as you can see, the petals are more defined. I thought I liked the puffier ones better, but so far I'm starting to think I like this one better, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to finish it, so I'm gonna get the other ones sewn down the same way as I just did this one, and I will be right back. Okay, so I have them all stitched on, and in case you're curious what the back looks like, this is what the back looks like. So these are the ones with the 2 double crochets in the middle, and these are the ones with the 1 double crochet in the middle to make these more defined, and these ones puffier. I honestly, I thought I'd like these ones better, and then I changed my mind in that previous clip and said I like these ones better, but now honestly I like them both pretty equally because you get different effects with them. And like I said previously, if you want to make them puffier, you could do like 3 double crochets in the middle. It's really up to you. You can make them as puffy or defined as you want, but this is what I have for the flowers. And remember, this is what it looks like once it's been blocked. This is what it looks like before it's been blocked, so I'm sure this will stretch out and maybe even make the petals more defined. I guess you'll have to find out in the next video when we stitch all of the squares we've been making together and we make our sweater vest. And it's going to be a really simple design, but that's what all this has been leading up to. Is I've been making all of these different squares, and we're going to lay them out in a very simple pattern, and we're going to make a sweater vest. And I haven't decided yet if I want to do a proper trim on them, like ribbed stitching. I haven't decided if I want to do a rib stitching around the neckline and the sleeves and the bottom, or just on maybe like just the neckline, or just do a single crochet around all of the openings. I have not decided yet. We will see when we get there, and if I do, I don't know what color I want to do it in. I don't know if I want to do all one color or do a different color on each one, just to make it fun and go with all of the colors on the sweater. But leave me a comment, let me know what you'd want to see on that, because I think getting some feedback on that will be really fun. And throughout the whole series, let me know which set of squares are your favorite. I think I really like the checkered ones, like the ones with the multiple little squares. That was really fun. I also like the 2 I made with the hearts in the middle. Those are really cute. And the strawberry ones as a whole, like all the strawberry ones, are absolutely adorable. And I kind of want to make a whole sweater vest or bag or something out of just those squares, because it is so cute. Like, imagine a little bag and you go on a picnic in the summer with that little picnic themed strawberry bag. That sounds adorable. But that being said, I actually do have some bags I plan on making for my Etsy, so stay tuned for those on my Instagram, which I'll have linked in the description box below. Those are going to be super cute, and I have a few different designs. They're going to be checkered, and they're either going to be cream and black, cream and pink, cream and like a sage green like this, or a cream and I have this like lavender lilac orchid kind of purple. And then I got 2 different linings of fabric. Let me go get those. I'll be right back. Here are the linings. I have the daisy one, and then I have this strawberry one. I know this is nothing to do with this video. I just wanted to share and make it a little chit chatty. But I'm gonna make those bags, and I'm gonna line the inside of them with one of those fabrics. And then the outside, I'm gonna either, if I line it with the strawberry, I'm gonna do little strawberries on the outside. If I line it with the daisy, I'm gonna put little daisies on the outside. And I have little buttons that are daisies and strawberries, and that's gonna be what closes the purse. And it has, oh, it's so cute. I'm so excited. But since that's not Halloween themed, I'm not gonna make a video on that just yet. Maybe in November, even though they're summer themed. I don't even care. They're just so cute. But that's just something I'm working in the background just for fun for myself to put on my Etsy. So when I finish them, I'll post them on Instagram for you to see them, and then let you know they're also available on my Etsy. I'm probably just gonna make one of each kind for now. And by one of each kind, I mean like there's gonna be like 2 blacks, 2 pinks, 2 greens, 2 purples, but there's gonna be 1 strawberry and 1 daisy each. And they do take a little while to make. So right now I only have 2.5 or 3.5 bags made, and they're not even lined yet, and only one of them has the ends weaved in. So those are a work in progress. But yes, after this next video for the sweater vest, we're going to dive into September with a tutorial on a different square for Halloween. They're gonna be different than these. They're gonna be actual like granny square style squares, and they're gonna have really fun like characters and themes to them. And I'm gonna be turning those also into a sweater vest. You could also make them into a bag. I think a little Halloween themed bag could be really cute with them. Like imagine you go into some kind of costume party and you have that bag to kind of reminisce of like going trick-or-treating kind of, but it's just a purse. Like that could be really fun and cute. But I'm gonna be making sweater vests out of them when I'm done, but each video is gonna be a different square because there are 25 squares in total. So I'm making 25 different squares. So each one's gonna have a different theme, and I'm gonna do a 25-day countdown to October. And then in October, I've been thinking about, since September, it's not super mild here in September. It is still pretty warm, but I should be able to have my garage door open and take my clock out there and paint it without melting. So my plans are for my Halloween videos is I have some crochet projects, but I don't want to spoil them. But they're gonna be very fun. One's gonna be a sweater, one's gonna be a sweater vest, which is sweater vest is gonna be the first video of October. That is gonna be after I make all those squares in September. And I'm thinking about painting the Harry Potter clock my dad made me. Or I guess the Weasley clock, the Weasley's family clock. Maybe. It depends on the weather here in September. And there's gonna be a sweater. I'm making a sweater, and it's gonna be also like horror movie or like Halloween themed, however you want to think of it. I don't know. I have a bunch of ideas. I've just been yammering because I'm so excited to bring you all of this. I'm so excited. It's gonna be so fun. But yeah, I just look at this strawberry fabric. I can't get over it. It's just sitting over here while I was talking and I was just looking at it, and it's so cute. It's so cute. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section below. You could also contact me on Instagram if you'd like to ask your question in a more private setting. And also, if you have any ideas for future videos or any patterns you want a tutorial on, or any patterns you want to just be made, maybe you're like, oh, I really want this design I've thought up in my head, but I'm not good at creating them. Do your best to explain it to me in the comment section below, or send me like a photo or something, and I will try to make it if I can to help you out. Because I know, like, I can't read patterns, but I like to make things. And some people do the opposite. They can't make things. They can only read patterns. So they have something in their head and it's stuck there. So if you need help, I'm your gal. Just let me know. And also in the comment section below, let me know once I finish the sweater if you want a trim, like a proper band. I already forgot what it's called. If you want a proper ribbed edging on the neckline, the sleeves, and the bottom, or if you don't, or if you just want it maybe on the neck or something, let me know. And if you do, what color you want them to be in. Do you want them all to be the same color? Do you want them all to be different colors? If you, either one, let me know. Let me know what colors you want. Also, let me know what you're working on in the comment section below. I'm nosy. I'd like to know. Other people might want to know too. Maybe you guys will inspire each other. Who knows? But like I said, for an update on those bags I'm making for photos, see what they look like, and if you're interested and you want to know when they are available, follow me on Instagram. I'll have that linked in the description box below, and I'll make posts about those when they're done and ready, as well as letting you know when they're available on my Etsy. And you can also follow my Etsy shop. I'll have that in the description box as well. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can see these squares get turned into a beautiful and fun and whimsical wacky sweater vest. And for the countdown to October, where I make so many different squares almost every single day of the month in September. And if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. I am sorry I rambled on for so long, but I had so many things I wanted to tell you about. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!